Universal Orlando Resort. And we've got great news. Anthony Edwards back in action for the Timberwolves tonight. They're taking on the Rockets in Game 2 of our doubleheader. And tip-off is coming up shortly here on Prime. Welcome on in. I'm Taylor Rooks with Dirk Nowitzki, John Wall, and Udonis Haslem. And it is time for Changing the Game, presented by Universal Orlando Resort. We just saw him there, but CJ McCollum with a game-high 29 points. 25 of them in the first half. He went 11 for 16 from the floor and 6 for 8 on threes, as the Hawks have clinched a playoff spot. Great news down there in Atlanta, but you all, they were on fire in this one, and it was really great to see them beat a good team, John.
Yeah, I think so. They came out and played aggressive. They knew they just played the Cavs not too long ago. They want to leave a statement, but also get themselves in a playoff spot. But I think you got to give a lot of credit to Dyson Daniels. The way he came out, played a role, like we kind of talked about. They put the 5-man on them, set screens, get 12 assists, and get a triple-double tonight. That's a big key for them. But he just don't do it on the offense end. He does it on the defensive end, getting deflection, getting out in transition, and making their team kind of go.
Yeah, and what CJ McCollum was able to do early, get the ball going, get downhill, set the tone. I think this is a very important game for Atlanta. They wanted to get in. So I like the way he set the tone offensively. And defensively, they've done what they've been doing since the All-Star break, the second half of the season. They've guarded, they've contested everything, gave you nothing easy, and made everything hard for you.
Yeah, I think they really put this game away there in the third quarter. They won it 35-17. There was a quick stretch there where they had like 5 or 6 steals in a row. Cleveland couldn't even get a good look or a shot of theirs. They had active hands. They really put a pressure on them, and that really set them up to steal this game and really cruise after that.
Yeah, and the Hawks clinched the playoffs for the first time since the 2022-23 season after losing in the play-in in back-to-back seasons. So, new day for the Atlanta Hawks.
New day.
And based on the results right now, the Celtics are locking up the 2 seed in the East, the Knicks locking up the 3. We know that the Cavs are locked at the 4 seed and that the Hawks just clinched a playoff berth. So this was an important day, UD. Things are getting figured out a little bit.
It wasn't as important to the Cleveland Cavaliers as I would like it to have been. I mean, I understand this is not a game that you intend to win, but I would love for Evan Mobley and James Harden to win their minutes within that game. You might not win the game, but win your minutes within that game, and those guys was a combined minus 50. Listen, if you want to get conditioning, we can stay in the back and ride the bike. But if you're going to be on the court, we're putting you out there for a reason. We need you to win your minutes. This is the reason why we're trying to get get going into the playoffs with guys playing well, feeling healthy, feeling confident. So I understand the outcome is not to win the game, but I wish those guys would have won their minutes.
And I think Max Strus, this is a big moment for him. Missed a lot of time this year with an injury. And they trying to get him in the starting lineup to get some minutes to make shots because he's another guy that's going to be at a space to floor for James Harden and Donovan Mitchell and Mobley if you double-team them. But 1 for 9, 0 for 4, like you say, UD, he minus 30. He could have stayed in the back and did some cardio on a salt bike or something. But I know he's trying to find a rhythm, but he's going to be a key piece to help them go also.
Shifting gears to our next matchup, Rockets and Timberwolves. Just a reminder that the last time these two teams met, Minnesota came back from down 13 in OT. It was a wild one, the largest overtime comeback win of the play-by-play era. But the Rockets have not lost since then. What will you be looking for from Houston in this one, Dirk?
I really like what Şengün's been doing. I think he's been part of the winning streak here. It's going back to being a hub. They're running. He's been scoring the ball better. He's catching the ball on the block, spinning. He's right at the rim. His jump hook's been money. So I think he went through a little slump there mid-season. I think he's really back to where he played early in the season and really making defenses pay.
Yeah, I think Şengün has to have a big game. No Rudy Gobert there, so you don't have to worry about him guarding. But for me, it's Jabari Smith. Continue to be great. Continue to excel in this role. It's going to be a tough matchup. We got Jaden McDaniels, who's coming back, trying to find his rhythm after coming off injury. So I feel like him and Ant are in this game not to probably play 35 to 40 minutes, but to find a rhythm going into the playoffs.
And I just love when Ant gets a chance to go against Houston and get a chance to go against KD. I mean, he takes that matchup personally. He shows KD respect by showing him no respect. He goes right at them. KD does not back down. It's like when idols become rivals. So I'm looking for a lot of fireworks offensively from these two tonight.
And staying there with Ant, the question tonight was, is he going to play? Just to explain why him being on the floor, it's really about looking into the playoffs, trying to get your rhythm before the postseason.
Yeah, this is all mental. This is all mental. I mean, he can make shots in his sleep, but they want him to go out there and they want him to feel good. They want him to feel comfortable. They want him to feel confident going into the playoffs. So this is all mental for Ant right now to go out there and just get those reps.
And why not do it? You're going against Amin Thompson, one of the best defenders in the league that's going to be aggressive, going to try to take things away from you. And one thing about you guys I love about Ant, he loves the hoop. So if he can be out there, he want to be out there.
And he's just been out for a couple of weeks, so he needs to come back and get his rhythm, get some shots up, and feel the ball.
Yeah, you know, Chris Finch recently said that it feels like his team is a million miles away from the team that they can be and that they are. And so I know they'll be looking for these last games to really get things right before the playoffs. It's going to be a good one.
I know one thing. Ain't gonna win his minutes. He gonna win his minutes.
He always does. All right, that does it here for us. We will see you again at halftime after this little showdown in the West. But right now, we are going to send it on out to Houston for Game 2 of our doubleheader, the Timberwolves against the Rockets.
All right, so this season has seen a plethora of coaches of all levels standing out this season. Young coaches like Hornets coach Charles Lee and Spurs head coach Mitch Johnson have taken their young teams far above their preseason expectations. Then the veteran guys like Detroit's JB Bickerstaff and Boston's Joe Mazzulla. They have built off solid foundations and continued coaching their teams to elevated success. So, as our resident coach, Biz, who was your coach of the year?
Oh.
You knew this day was coming.
This is a tough one.
It's arrived.
I've really, I bounced back and forth on this one. This is very, very tough because you look at the whole body of work of all of these teams, and all of these guys have a legitimate reason. And I still think you left another guy out because I think T. Lue absolutely
That's a good call.
Because of what he's done with that team through all of the the Clippers have gone through a lot this year, and he's just kept them, humming along. So, but I think when I look at the teams and I look at the whole body of work and everything that I see, I think Detroit and JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know I'm a biased guy. I know JB's my guy, but when I look at the Detroit team, and no team was talked about more from the standpoint of them having holes in their roster. Right? And, Cade has to carry the whole team, and they got holes in their roster. And no one thought they would be the #1 seed. They dominated from start to finish. I mean, in the end, they was #1 seed, and really have developed a legitimate championship kind of identity. And I just think for what he's done with that team and where he's got them, I think he edges those guys out by because even last year he was right up there to be considered, and I thought he got edged out, but I think this year is his year.
Yeah, I think now what happens once they get into the playoffs will solidify that and continue to build on what he's done. Because I'm right there with you, Coach. I have a lot of confidence in this Pistons team. Someone told me earlier today perhaps too much. I don't think it's too much. I think they've showed us what they're built out of, Darren. They have so much grit. And at every phase in the season, they've shown us that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think JB Bickerstaff deserves that award. I mean, look, the consistency of what they were playing with this year has been phenomenal. Yeah. Usually from a young team, you kind of see some type of drop-off.
Yeah.
But throughout the year, they've just been consistent, playing at a high level. Coming into this year, we talked about the Knicks being the #1 seed. Obviously, Jason Tatum went down, but Boston started being a little bit in the mix a little bit. But no one ever predicted Detroit Pistons being the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Yeah. And look, Bickerstaff, his ability to not just get Cade going, but Duncan Robinson, drawing up plays for him off pin downs, and Jalen Duren, just his ability just to get everybody going. Even Tobias Harris has his moments every now and then. I mean, shout out to JB Bickerstaff. He definitely deserves that award.
And you think, and I say this too, because I look at the talent of those other teams. Like the Spurs are freaky talented.
Yeah.
Charlotte, freaky talented. Like those teams, but Detroit isn't. It's not sexy. It's not a bunch of these guys that got all this wiggle and this. They're grimy, and they wear you down to a nub, and they got a couple of some stars, but they're not the most talented team. And that's where I say, JB has balanced it out with his coaching and the system he's put them in. So, this tough.
Well, look, it's hard. You know this. 50 win season for a team is impressive. They have a chance to win 60.
They can win 60. If they win tonight, if they finish this thing off, they got 60 wins.
They have a chance to win 60, and I don't think anybody predicted them winning 60 games.
I bet.